Hello, my name is Jared Krebs. I'm pictured here with my wife, Crystal. We're Emerald Directors, co-founders of Team DSI. We're in San Antonio, Texas. Today, we are honored to have special guest Rene Martinez, Silver Director from Pleasanton, Texas on. He is going to be walking you through the 21 laws of leadership. Actually, it's the last 6 laws. Law 16 through 21. Rene Martinez just advanced his business to Silver Director. He's one of the fastest growing associates in North America. Him and his wife, Megan, have done a phenomenal job building a strong team, Team DSI South. They are so excited. They're all on fire. They're all growing at the same time. So there's really nobody better to go through these laws of leadership than a true leader, Rene Martinez. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you, Rene. We are honored that you're on the line. And the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Jared, for that wonderful introduction. Absolutely. I'm going to be covering laws 16 through 21, which are very important if you want to be successful in any business, not just a USANA business. I know it's definitely, absolutely 100% taken me to the next level because, this book was recommended to me probably about a month ago, and I've gone through it a couple of times, and it totally changed the way I looked at things. So now we're going to continue with law number 16, which law number 16 is the big MO. Momentum is what MO stands for. Momentum is the leader's best friend. If ever there is a person with talent and vision, Jared Krebs, this guy pretty much kicked off all of our momentum that we got going on at Challenge U that he was talking about. He came to me and he was like, let's do it. He pushed me over the edge and the momentum started. We started making calls. We started getting it done. And basically, whenever you get momentum going, it's contagious. You know, the whole team caught it. It wasn't just me and him. It was everybody, all of us. Veronica Cade, I'm so proud of her. She got a double rank advancement and probably going to do another one before this week's over. The momentum's just absolutely insane. Whitney and Lewis, they got their first rank advancement. Carlos Gomez busted up a rank advancement. I'm so proud of everybody. And the momentum, just like he says in the book, whenever he's talking about momentum, he was comparing it to a train. Like if you get a train that's sitting there and not moving, if you put 2 little pieces of blocks in front of the tracks, that the train's not going to move. It doesn't matter if you get it going or not. It's going to have a very, very hard time moving. And that's just with little bitty blocks in front of it, which that could be somebody negative talking to you or somebody, saying you can't do it or this and that or whatever. But as soon as you get that momentum going, he talks in the book about that it could be like a freight train. You could have a concrete wall supported with all kinds of steel and everything. And that train will build up so much momentum, it'll just plow right through it. Well, a team atmosphere is the same way. You get one person going, the next one goes. Before you know it, everybody's going. And right now, momentum is just completely a wildfire right now with Team DSI and Team DSI South, and the wind's blowing, so that just means it's going to spread even more. And that's the main thing of the law of momentum is don't get in its way, because you'll get run over like that freight train, and you're not going to stop it. So now on to law number 17, which is the law of priorities, which I kind of mentioned this a little bit in my Silver Director talk, my rank advancement talk, where basically you have to prioritize your life. You can't, just like John Maxwell says, you have to live life with a purpose. You can't just wake up and go and be successful. You have to wake up. And I got into a rhythm that I learned at Challenge U, where I wake up. First thing I do when I wake up is I say 3 things that I'm thankful for. And I also got into the habit of texting those 3 things to my wife, because I usually leave the house very early. I have a full-time job, and I go and do classes at my gym before I go to work. So I'm Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm up at 4 a.m. Today's Monday. I got up at 4 a.m. I said everything I was thankful for. I went to the gym. I worked out with everybody. I went to my job, did my 8 hours, came straight over here and got ready for the webinar. And here I am. I got the momentum going. The law number 16, the momentum's pushing me. I mean, it's almost like once you get that going, you don't even want to sleep. You just want to make it happen. And the priorities, you have to prioritize stuff. If it's important to you, it's got to be at the top of the list. And I always have all of my stuff prioritized. I know Jared does too, my wife, everybody does, or they need to, especially if they want to be a leader, because who's going to want to follow a leader that doesn't have their priorities in line? They don't have their ducks in a row. You have to know where you're going, and you have to know what's important. Leaders understand that activity is not necessarily accomplishment. So just because you're doing stuff doesn't mean that you're doing it right. You have to prioritize your stuff. So that being said, we're going to go on to law number 18. And this one is huge for me. And it's law of sacrifice, which I hate to talk about myself again, but I have sacrificed and done so many different things that I would have never done. And in the long run, basically to be a leader, you must give up to go up. And that's what it's all about. I want to be the best leader that I can be for my team. I want to be the best leader that I can be for my kids, the best husband I can be for my wife. It just be the best son I can be for my parents. And it's all about, you have to give up to go up. Anybody that has kids, they know the law of sacrifice. You have to sacrifice, stuff that you do for yourself, for your kids, money, time, all the different kinds of stuff. I know myself personally, I sacrifice, watching football and watching basketball and stuff on TV, because instead of sitting there watching a game, I work on my business. I'm trying to figure out, well, I'm not trying, I am figuring out. Jared's teaching me exactly how to do it, how to replace my income, and how to where I can do it full time. And, the law of sacrifice is big, that's the cold short end of it is leaders must give up to go up. And that's that one. Law number 19, the law of timing. And the law of timing, when to lead is important, and as what to do and where to go. I mean, you definitely need to know what you're doing, where you're going, and all that, because nobody's going to want to follow somebody that doesn't know where they're going. I tell everybody, I'm going to replace my income in 2 years. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to be full-time USANA, spend more time with my kids, travel the world. That's where I'm going. And I know I'm going. And I'm taking a lot of my teammates with me. And most of them are on this call. So yeah, that's where we're going, guys. So, and the law of timing, it talks about, in the book, it talks about a bunch of different things. It talks about how leaders make the right timing for whenever something happens. Like they're talking about Hurricane Katrina in the book, when the mayor did absolutely wrong timing for evacuating the city, which he never did. And because of that, because of his bad timing, because he didn't listen, because he didn't respect the law of timing, I mean, it was an absolute disaster because of everything that happened. And, whenever stuff like that happens, you have to understand. And that goes back to one of the other leader parts, where you have to be able to read situations, and you have to be able to know, hey, this is the time. Jared knew. He's a leader. He knew, hey, Saturday, Rene, come here. Hey, we're doing your silver run. I'm like, what? Yes, we're doing it. It's time. That's the law of timing. If he hadn't have said it, he wouldn't have started off the momentum. None of this would have happened. He saw the law of timing. He jumped on it. He pushed me over the edge. I rolled and grabbed everybody, and we all rolled together, which, thank you, Jared, for all that. And so now I'm going on to law number 20. which is what we're seeing now in our USANA business, is the law of explosive growth. And to add growth, lead followers to multiply lead leaders. And the explosive growth, that's just, I mean, I'm gonna talk about Jared again. It's just he's the leader of everybody down here in Texas and South Texas, and I know he's one of my best friends. I probably talk to him 2-3 times a day. I know I go on and on about him, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's the truth. And he, right now, all this explosive growth is because he understood the law of timing and pushed us all over the edge. And now the explosive growth is happening, and it's still happening. Just like I said, it's Monday. The week's barely started, and Veronica Cade's already going to double rank advance and probably do a third one by the end of the week and pass me up on the weapon win, which I have absolutely no problem with her beating me in that, because I want everybody on my team to do good. And this stuff is a marathon, and whenever you start, anybody that's new listening to this, whenever you start, it doesn't happen quick. People aren't, there's very few natural born leaders, but even those, the biggest failure from them, according to John Maxwell, is they rely on talent alone. And whenever somebody relies on talent alone and they don't want to, keep doing the personal development, keep developing the leadership points that they need to develop, that's where their flaw is. And luckily, we have very good leaders, Randy and Viola and Jared and Crystal and me and Megan, all of us, we're all about personal development because we know that's where it comes from. And the explosive growth comes from all the personal development. I mean, everyone just, the whole team just blowing up after Challenge U. The events are a must for stuff like this. They're the fuel for the freight train that gets going and busts it through the wall and all that. And now law number 21, the law of legacy. And this one stood out to me a lot whenever I read the book, because it had a lot of stuff that I never really thought about. And a leader's lasting value is measured by succession. So, and in the book, he talked a lot about Michael Jordan, which I know everybody absolutely loves Michael Jordan. Everybody, I doubt anybody ever has anything bad to say about him, because he left a legacy. He wasn't just a phenomenal basketball player, which he was. He was a phenomenal leader. He was just a great all-around person. And with him being the person that he was, that's what they talked about in the book, is that's why his legacy is so great. Because if he would have been, a negative person, a mean person, somebody that didn't want to talk to the press, or somebody that he was running around saying, "No, it's all about me and I won everything." No, he was never like that. He always gave all of his gratitude to his team and to his fan and to his families and to his coach. And it's a team thing, exactly what we're in. It's a team thing. And just like him, I want to leave an awesome legacy. And another thing that really struck me about this law of legacy is he asked in the book, like, what do you want people to say at your funeral? Like, how deep is that? Like, what do you want people to say at your funeral? You want them to say that was the best person that you ever knew. And, you want to leave a good legacy, especially for people that have kids. You want to leave a good legacy. You want to, be a person of your word, be honest, just all that stuff. It goes to the law of legacy. You have to just make it happen. Just like Michael Jordan did. Anybody can leave a legacy. You don't have to be rich and famous to do it. And with that being said, that's completing the 21 laws of leadership. And I definitely recommend each and every one of you to go and get this book And actually read through the book, because we went through it, but you read it 3 or 4 or 5 times, you're going to get a little bit more out of it every time you read it. And all it's going to do is, help you grow. That personal development is everything. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it back over to Emerald Director Jared Krebs, and he's going to finish out the webinar.
Thank you, Rene. I love everything you had to say, man. You really nailed those last 5 laws, 6 laws. And I also want to say thank you, Lillian Galdiano, for reminding us we actually missed Law 15. I guess Law 15 last week was the Law of Victory. And
you want me to go over it? I'll let you go over it, Jared.
The Law of Victory is basically celebrating the good things that are happening in your life. The Law of Victory is real important, because a lot of times we don't look or focus on the things that are going right. We focus on the things that are going wrong, and we focus on the things that maybe make our business run slowly. And the Law of Victory is basically counting your blessings. It's the law of gratitude. And I keep a gratitude journal, and every single night I go to bed, I write down 3 wins in my business. Sometimes I think, oh, geez, I've been doing this 11 years. Why aren't I a Star Diamond Director yet? Well, that's not good. That's not the Law of Victory. So I was taught, no, I need to focus on what happened great in my business. So I write down like all this momentum we have. I write down Rene and Megan, new silver directors. I write down Veronica Cade, new share believer builder. I write down Carlos Gomez, new believer. I write down Luis and Whitney, new sharers. I write down like 80 million new things that I'm grateful for, and then I go to bed. And that's really critical. I want to challenge you every night. Just go to get a notebook from HEB, just a cheap little notebook from your grocery store, but write down 3 wins in your business before you go to bed. Even if it was, I called 3 prospects, that's 3 wins, or someone answered my call, or someone watched the video. It doesn't have to be like they signed up yet. If you're not having enrollments, just start celebrating the good things you are doing. Maybe you registered for April 1st, the big event in San Antonio. Maybe you're registered for Challenge U in Salt Lake City. Just write down 3 wins, okay? Then the next thing I write down is 3 things that I need to improve in my business or my life, like 3 ways I could have improved that day. So 3 wins, 3 things I could have improved that day. Then I write down 3 new things that I'm grateful for in my life, like things that I've never been grateful for before, like my fingers, my toes, my eyes, just things I usually have gratitude about, like body parts or something just very fundamental, right? Like heat, water. Just I'm grateful for 3 brand new things I've never been grateful for. And then the last thing is to write down 10 things I'm grateful for my day. So it's like 3, 3, 3, 10. 3 wins, 3 things I could have improved, 3 new grateful things, and 10 additional things I'm grateful for. That's the Law of Victory, guys. Thank you, Lillian, for reminding us about that law. All right, so we've hit the 9 o'clock mark, and normally we have time to visit, but we're gonna go ahead and end the webinar right now. I want to thank you all for attending.